There he is. There he is. And I'm hoping, obviously, we have the Raider Fester over there. I'm here for 3 reasons. And that's it. The first reason why I'm here is because of you. Because you said
I'll take blame for that.
No, not blame. But I'm saying because you said, "Hey, are we going to have a show tonight?" And I said, "Sure." Because earlier I had heard from reason number 2, Jimmy Farrell. Oh, actually 4 reasons. And then I had earlier had heard from reason number 3, which is Ed Winchell. So hopefully they'll be here.
Okay.
And reason number 4 is I was talking with Vic again, and I want everybody to give some prayers and good vibes to Vicky, because again, Vicky's found out some stuff that is going to put her back into the hospital. Vicky has an ongoing, and I hate saying relationship, but she's got an ongoing, bad relationship with hospitals and health. So I'm saying for all of us out here that know Vicky, hopefully you'll be, you'll be me with us in the fact that we wish her well. So that's always for true on that. So Kenneth says God bless you, and I know you do too as well. So again, and Jack Guestafeste, not to be concerned with Jack Kenna, are almost always here. So there's 2 other reasons. So I guess as long as we're all here, then we got a good reason to be here. And now I wanted to ask, and maybe Kenna will acknowledge this. Did Navman give on the Wild Wild West his little, I got a secret about Clint Kubiak? Did he say that on the show? Because if he didn't, I'm not going to blow it here, because he said something to me. But if he didn't say it, I'm going to keep it a secret. That's the type of person I am.
I didn't hear the show, so I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat can clue you in as to what he said or didn't say.
Okay. Gavin McKenna? Who's Gavin McKenna? You trying to say Jack McKenna? Okay. And Matt, I mean, it just so happens that if I can't, Ottawa scored. God bless it. When there's not a lot to do, it is officially hockey season for me. And the Flyers had kept the Senators out the entire first period. And then the Senators, I don't know if this was a power play or if it was just at the end of a power play, but with about, was it 15? Is it 15 a period or 20? No, it's 20 a period. So about halfway through the second period, and the Senators are just killing them on shots. 17 shots for the Senators, a whopping 5 for the Flyers. So they're down 1-0. So hopefully, and this is the very last hockey game before the Olympic break. Right. Gavin McKenna is a hockey player, possible number 1 overall pick. So who gets him?
Okay.
So hey Jack, your boy, Jack. So he's actually talking about Jack Kenna, I believe. Gavin McKenna is a hockey player. So what's he in trouble for? He's Penn State hockey, facing criminal charges. Oh, okay. Well, again, so is it where somebody is a I thought Jack Kenna said something about trying to get his jersey because it's Kenna McKenna, so he would have a jersey basically with a family member on it. But if he's in trouble, I don't know if it's in trouble like the way the Canadian players were, when they had those allegations. And did they settle that? You know, it was like he said, she said of a young lady, you know, a couple years, which actually took out the Flyers goalie, their main goalie, which is kind of hot, and the Flyers jumped him like a bad case of the flu going through your intestines. Yeah, they shit him out through the system. He's back in the NHL, but I don't. He ain't with us. But I never found out what happened with that. So is this something about, oh, he assaulted someone? Well, then he's gonna. Okay, let's say this allegedly, because I've been on these things before. You don't say something until it's official.
Well, Stephon Diggs has an alleged assault, and he's still playing. He'll be playing in the Super Bowl. So, you know, alleged is a big word, capitalized, all caps. And again, when you're facing assault charges, it's serious. And in this day and age and culture, there can be some serious consequences, but they have to be proven. Allegations are just that until they are adjudicated.
Okay, well, again, I was like, I'm not keeping up. I keep up on when the draft happens and who the Flyers take. And I know that Mishkov was taken 2 years ago. He had a great rookie season, and then he's sputtering this year, but he's still a good player.
So bullshit, Jack, you remember a couple weeks ago when I went down the list? I went down the list of all the NFL head coaching vacancies and who I thought would be filled in. I was wrong on every single one except one. And there's one that's still out there that hasn't come to fruition yet, but I could be right on 1 out of the 10, and the 1 out of the 10 that I might end up being right on is the one that we really care about anyway.
And I want you to be right on that, but I also said, and I said this last night, by the way, if you didn't watch last night, we had Mark Santos on, and that's one reason why, because Matt was asking why I'm going earlier, is Mark wanted to come on earlier. My friend, the teacher here, wants to come on earlier, so I try to accommodate him. And to be honest,
I'll interrupt you there, Jack. I can jump on an hour later. That's not a problem.
Okay, yeah, but I try to accommodate you as well. I do.
Gotcha.
And it's better for me. I mean, honestly, what did I do today? Well, other than I went to the acupuncturist, I moved some things in my room. I still got a lot to do, but I did a little bit. But I pixel fuck around when I have to do, you know, when I need to do something. It'll get done before the game, but I didn't do a lot. But I'll do some things. Oh, I moved the big glass thing that used to be in a picture frame. I moved that to the other room so it wouldn't break. So that's one thing I did do today, and I moved some other things. So I did a little bit today. But I will get this room squared away for the Super Bowl party. It's actually not really a party. We are entertaining two groups or two couples of Raider fans on Sunday. And I haven't seen the one for like years. It's like his kid is like 10 or 12 years old now, and I haven't seen her since she's been a baby. So it's been that long. So it's going to be, that's one of the reasons why we're having a party. But I just want to make sure that your fruition comes to fruition, and that same guy doesn't pull a fucking Josh McDaniels. And that's the reason why, if you looked at the graphic for the show tonight, it showed Clint Kubiak and Josh McDaniels, because it's very important why we had both of them on there. A, because McDaniels is a former Raiders head coach. In fact, the last former prior to Pete Carroll. And then he's also a coach that pulled a fuck you on a franchise when he took their head coaching position, and then 24 hours later said, yeah, nah, that's okay. So that's why I'm hoping that Clint Kubiak doesn't do the same thing. Now, I did get a chance to listen to a little bit of Murph and Mosh last night on their show. And Mosh made a point, which is what I've been saying for a while. He said that there are certain people and certain players that say that when they come over, they are that other team. Remember, Lyle Alzado was a Bronco forever in Uncle Mosh's mind. And then until he showed his worth, then he became a Raider. Okay. Romanowski was a Bronco and a couple other teams until he came over and showed his worth. And then he became a Raider in our pantheon, right?
Actually, Jack, a lot of people don't know this, but when Alzado left Denver, he went to Cleveland and he was on the trash heap. He was there just for a brief amount of time. He was ready to just hang up the cleats and give it up. And Tom Flores is the one that talked him off the couch, basically. Right.
And Matusak was an Oiler who didn't pan out, and then we grabbed him. So there's a lot of other. I mean, who? I know you know this, Fester. But Willie Brown was a Bronco, and we wanted him, and we traded for him. So there's a really big thing about that. About Space Beast. I owe you a beer, dude. And I saw him one time. In Allegiant this past year, and he said, "Hey, you owe me a beer for Ted McMillan." And I said, "Yeah, okay, let's do that." And I was busy, and then I never saw him again. So I still owe you a beer. And the other guy, there's another guy. Was it fucking? It's either Wild Country or Liquor Country, or I said, get a hold of me on. Because I owe him something from the room. I think it might have been the show we were doing. I said, "Hey, thank you, Wild Turkey or Wild Country or Turkey, whatever." And it was week 2 Monday night, and I didn't forget, Space Beast. I owe you a beer because I don't like not paying up on debts. That's something for me. I don't like paying up on debts. So Space Beast, please get with me so I can take care of that. And then Wild Turkey or Turkey Country or whatever, because the two guys that kind of like have the same name. I owe him something from the room. And I said, send me an email, and I've yet to hear from him. So please, if he's there, let's do that. Yeah, Dan Pastorini, of course. Well, to me, Dan Pastorini was an Oiler, not a Raider. He came over here and broke his leg so quick he was not even remembered as a Raider. So anyway, go ahead,
Fester. He was really bitter.
Turkey Country.
He was really bitter with the Raiders after that because they put him on the shelf and Plunkett came in and thrived, and they kind of pushed him back. Well, you were mentioning Willie Brown came over from Denver, and Alzado was formerly from Denver. But not all stories are good because we did get another player from Denver who came over from the wide receiver spot, and you might remember his name, Javon Walker.
Javon Walker. He came over the same time that we had who I called Arsenio Hall. Javon Walker.
I called him the Crapio Hall.
Yeah, well, anyway, Arsenio Hall and Javon Walker came over from Denver around the same time. They had a bunch of we gave him a bunch of fucking money to do nothing.
Yeah.
So
Javon Walker
he did so okay.
Tom Cable's first full year.
Go ahead.
That's so Javon Walker came in when the team was dumped basically in Cable's lap.
No, Javon Walker came from Green Bay, Mike Sarah. Or sorry, not Green Bay. He said he came. He came over from.
He was with Green Bay from 2002 to 2005, and then was only with Denver from 06 to 07. So then he came here from Denver. So he signed a big 1 year, 2 year deal with Denver. He got the payday there, and then Al Davis had the bright idea that he was going to come over and be the number one receiver, and that didn't work out too well.
Would you now? Here's a question for you. Who would you say was the biggest free agent bust? Javon Walker, Larry Brown, or Desmond Howard? Oh, and Arsenio Hall is out of the equation because I would say him. But for those,
I would probably say Larry Brown because he came in and he got the Super Bowl MVP and he was projected to do all these great things, which he only did because Neil O'Donnell basically threw him the ball 3 times in the Super Bowl. He never did anything after that. I mean, Javon Walker at least had some cred. He could catch the ball, and Desmond Howard at least could return some punts, and he did okay. He was respectable. He wasn't anything game breaking, but no, I would have to go with Larry Brown.
Okay, I would say yes, but I still say Arsenio Hall. Because he got $8 million for 8 games and did nothing. Mm-hmm. So, because I wanted to make it a little bit. Sean Smith was Sean Smith is up there, but at least Sean Smith had one good season.
Can I give you an honorable mention?
Yeah,
Alex Kappa.
Sure,
Alex Kappa.
Oh man, that wound is still fresh.
Alex Kappa, and maybe you might even say Trent Brown as well.
Yeah, Twinkies and Twitter.
Yeah,
Twinkies and Twitter. Yeah, and actually, thank you, Mike Sarah, because I was actually talking to. I'm going to name drop. I'm going to name drop this again. I was talking with Lester Hayes a couple weeks ago.
The judge.
Don't say the second one. He will turn quite pissed. You can call him the judge. Call him the judge. But do that. But anyway, and we were talking about Larry Brown, and we said the same thing. It's like Larry Brown was a zone guy who played zone well, and Neil O'Donnell fucking threw him the ball 3 times. Well, I know he had 2 interceptions. One for, was it 2 pick sixes or 1 pick six?
1 pick six, 2 interceptions. The third one he dropped.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and thank you, Matt Moreno. That was the next thing I was going to say. Nnamdi Asomugha was a cover corner, man to man. Then when he went to the Eagles, they played zone. He played like shit. Yeah. You got to get the player in the right system. So that's one of the, and Arsenio, I know his name is I just called him Arsenio Hall because he was a joke. Alex Kappa did not always suck. He played 1 or 2 good years for the Bucks, and then he's been kind of bad. So anyway,
Jack, I think that's why Patrick Graham
the reason why I was saying
sorry. I was going to say, I think that's why.
No, go ahead, Patrick Graham.
Do a good job. I think he's going to do a good job in Pittsburgh because Patrick Graham is good at looking at. He's good at looking at his players and creating a defensive scheme with his players' skills in mind. I don't think he was truly able to do that with the Raiders because he just didn't have enough talented pieces. So when you look at it, I think he is looking at working closely with McCarthy and that whole crew in Pittsburgh, and they really want to develop and get back to the old school ways of the Steelers. And if they do that, they'll have a pretty good chance of sustaining all of the good years that they've had, sustaining that winning record. Now, they might hit a blip in the road. They might hit 1 or 2 losing seasons, but I think if they do that, and build it on the defense and then let the offense kind of catch up with them a little bit, I think they'll be in better shape. So I think Patrick Graham is in a pretty good spot, actually.
Yeah, I think he is too. In fact, I was talking, I said, hey, how you guys like, guy was wearing a Pittsburgh sweatshirt today. It's cold down here. Not as cold as it is up there, but it's cold down here. Guy's wearing a Pittsburgh sweatshirt when I'm over at the acupuncturist. And he's like, hey, so how you guys liking McCarthy? And he's like, man, I'm definitely liking the change. But he lamented the same thing about Pittsburgh. He goes, but he said, man, and he didn't say fucking, but the fucking was kind of like implied. Yeah, but fucking Rodgers coming back next year. He said, why can't we just suck so we can get a high draft pick and get a good quarterback? And I said, yeah, because Pittsburgh they want to be at least winning. They want to have like a winning thing. And they won't until they do that, or they expend a lot of capital to move up with somebody that already has their quarterback. Until they do that, they're going to be sucking for quarterback or a franchise quarterback for a while.
They can have Kenny Pickett
that's
back.
One thing. He is available. But I was asking, because Navman said it, what are your thoughts on he fled out of the bag last night that Jay Harbaugh is going to be coming in on his staff?
Could possibly be. Jay Harbaugh is the special teams coordinator in Seattle. He could possibly come over with Kubiak, but I don't know. We shall see. That'll be interesting. I'll tell you the one that the one I'm more interested to see beyond that is John Benton, who's the offensive line coach. He has got a ton of experience. He's got like 33 years of coaching experience and 19 in the league. Now, if he comes over with Kubiak, provided Kubiak comes, that could be some instant cred for that offensive line. He knows how to build and sustain offensive lines, which is something that we haven't had in a while. I blame our boy Cable for just totally dismantling the offensive line when Gruden came in. They had some good pieces from the 2014 draft and were adding to it. When they brought Rodney Hudson in, I thought, oh, wow, we've really got it now. And they had the line built up. I was really feeling good about that. And then things just all went to crap just in a matter of moments.
Mm-hmm.
Hudson was gone. They let I'm trying to remember the guard, Gabe Jackson. Let him go. Mm-hmm. Then they drafted Leatherwood, and then they had a couple of other duds, and then they tried to convert Andre James over to center, having never played center before. It was just a show. It really was.
Yeah. And Mike, I saw your comment. Yes, Kappa sucked in Cincy, but my point was that Alex Kappa played well in Tampa Bay, which is what got him the job here. Was Spytech knowing Kappa's capability in Tampa Bay and saying, yeah, well, maybe Cincinnati was an aberration. Well, it wasn't. And we got a lot of nothing for Alex Kappa. So I wouldn't say he sucked all the time. He was a good, and trust me, I won't give any cred to Tampa Bay unless it's deserved. You know me. I'm not going to give them any flowers for anything. So the fact that, when Kappa played for the Bucs, he played well. Yeah, Crappa. Thank you there, Matt. My name for him.
Cool Kev was saying that Gruden refused to pay Hudson. Actually, Hudson got paid, but they refused to pay Gabe Jackson. And again, that was the main thing. And Gabe's like, oh no, you're not going to disrespect my boy. I want out. So that's really what unraveled everything.
Yeah, that was a package deal. Now, one thing I want to ask though, what was the name of the O-line guy from the Seahawks?
John Benton.
Okay. He's a ZBS guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have no problem with that?
No, I don't. I mean, he's long tenured, he's well respected. He's been in the league a long time. And I think that's what this team needs to put that offensive line back on the map. And I'm not saying even to elevate it. They need to be put back on the map. This Raiders team is not on the map as far as the offensive line goes. They are not.
Right.
If there were 32 teams in the league, I think the Raiders would be 37.
Would be ranked 35th.
Yeah.
What number did you say? I said 35. What did you say?
I said 37.
Yeah, so we were thinking along the same lines. Yes, good. I had that feeling as well. The only reason why I ask it is because sometimes, and we had this a couple years ago when we had big fucking maulers, and we had was it Briselli? That is a ZBS guy, and or it was somebody that was a zone blocking scheme guy, and we tried to bring
Priscilla.
Okay, Priscilla, yeah. And we were saying our guys are big fucking see man, hit man, move man, you know, and they weren't built for ZBS. I'm hoping that when if and God please, because I heard a lot of good things about this guy too. If he comes in here, that he will be able to do something with these guys. Okay. And like Matt Marinovich was saying, that they need help. Now I think that, and they were talking. Well, I saw a couple mocks, God, because I'm so fucking bored. One guy, what's his name? Dinker, from Dunker. Yeah. First off, I love the name. Hey, thanks, Space Beast. And see, Space Beast gave me $2. Thank you, there, sir. Come find me.
Hey.
So I can pay. So I owe you $2 and a beer. I owe you $2 and a beer. Thanks for stopping by, Space Beast. I like that. But yeah, so I have the Dunker. That's a great name, and he's a big fucking mauling guard. So, and I still say, put JPJ, keep him at guard, and go get the fucking beast out of that you said the 1A and 1 and 1A, right? That you were talking about in those three. Those guys are centers. Right. Yeah. Linderbaum and the other guy. That's what I want.
Connor McGovern is the other guy. So he's coming from Buffalo. So if you can't get Linderbaum, you get McGovern, who is actually a swing guard center. He's played both, but he's played at a Pro Bowl caliber level at center. So if you can't get Linderbaum, get McGovern.
But get a center, get in Dinker or whatever his name is. Bring JPJ in. Then you got Carlos Rogers. You got Grant, who should be a great. In fact, we got some love from Coach. You know, the Charger guy on the Coach Defense show the other day. He said, I thought Charles Grant, and this is him talking, I thought Charles Grant was a steal and a great project tackle in the future, and then we fucking wasted him with fucking Brennan Carroll do shit to him, right?
Now, so, they had listened to us, and I think you were talking this, and I certainly was talking this. Put Grant in there, double him up with a tight end, so you have lots of double team blocks, get him some experience, and get him some success. And again, if you have a couple of those tight ends who are good at chipping, you can go ahead and have them be an easy outlet for the quarterback. Jack, I feel like if either you or I could have been the offensive coach or maybe the offensive coordinator, we could have seen that and said, let's get the young guys in, get them some experience, get them some help, put both those tight ends out there. And again, you can have some success, play the short game, but the main thing is getting these young guys out on the field, getting them some experience so that when they get into year two, they'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I'm looking. Was it Matt Marinovich says there's a guard at the Edwards is free agent? I don't care. I say because I'm greedy. Okay, I'm greedy. I want Linderbaum or the other dude. Okay, I want that either Rashid Walker. I want to keep wanting to call him Rasheed Wallace. I would Rasheed Walker at tackle. There's another guy that's a free agent. It's not even the Edwards, but I've heard of Edwards too. There's a couple good guys out there.
There's another free agent tackle, Braden Smith from the Colts, but he's a little older. He's pushing 33, I think, and you want to get younger. You do. You want to get younger. Now, Colton Miller is still going to be on the roster, But again, I think that as injured as he gets, there's another name and he's only 26 years old, and he's had some injury problems. That's Elijah Vera Tucker from the Jets.
Thank you, Ed. That makes me feel good. That makes that, and you're about right. You're about right on that. I am a giving person, so thank you, Ed. But Marinovich, no. I want Linderbaum. I don't want JPJ at center. I want JPJ out to fucking kill people on a pulling guard, or I want JPJ out with somebody that's on his nose, and fucking move him and go get to the linebacker. Go to the second guy. Move the fucker in front of you and go to the next guy. And that's what JPJ can do. That's what I think this other guy can do. And I've heard good things about Thinker. I want to see what Rodgers can do. Shit, I want to see what fucking Laki Tassi can do. We can have a fucking line of behemoths. And if they move, that's the other thing, because we're going to be doing that with a ZBS scheme. As long as they can move, they will do well here. Now, I disagree.
If you can have a guy like Colton Miller who's on the roster, but not have to lean on him, he can come in and maybe start, but be ready to replace him because he's going to get injured. But again, if you can start him, but then have some good depth, DJ Glaze, I've got no problem with bringing him as a depth piece. But again, I think you need not one but two quality offensive linemen in free agency. Linderbaum, and of course I said Rasheed Walker, Rasheed Walker, not Wallace, Rasheed Walker at one of the tackles.
I'm rubbing off.
So there again, if you have Linderbaum at center, if you have Caleb Rogers and then JPJ at your guards, and then you have Colton Miller and Rasheed Walker at your tackles, you're set. And then what you can do is you can go ahead, you have DJ Glaze, he can be a good swing guy, but you also have Grant. Grant can be a good replacement for tackle, and he'll have another year to develop. Plus, you draft, and again, this is what I've been talking about, Jack. I think the Raiders need to try to package a deal and move back up into the first round and grab an offensive lineman. If they can get the big behemoth out of Alabama, or if they can get a couple of the good guard out of Miami, it depends on how far they last. If either of those guys is there once the draft hits into the 20s, I think the Raiders need to scramble and do everything they can to move up and get one of those guys, because you're looking at getting that offensive line set for a while. Because again, Colton Miller's not going to be long for this earth as far as starting lineups in the NFL go, in my opinion. But I think that's what you could do. And you really need to concentrate and focus on this offensive line. There are some other defensive pieces that they need, obviously, but in order for this team to succeed, that offensive line has to be the priority, because we've got to protect. If Mendoza's the guy, we bring him in, we do just what we did when we drafted Derek Carr back in 2014. You build the line and you protect your asset. That's the only reason why Derek Carr lasted as long as he did before he got his leg broken in 2016. They built that line around him. Now, that was a freakish accident, and again, I think that Carr was not the same after that happened. He's still been a good quality quarterback, but he was not the same guy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna and that you gave me the great segue, because Ed Winchell, and I don't know who, I think Matt Marinovich was saying it's bullshit season already, and we were talking about Max Crosby not being here, and Matt Marinovich was talking about it, and Ed Winchell brings it up. What are your thoughts on that? Because I'm going back and forth on that. Because first off, I've said before, I said I don't want to move Max Crosby unless Max Crosby wants to move. I'm a firm believer that I want to keep Max for all he's worth. He is the franchise face. Mendoza will be that eventually, or he'll usurp Max eventually once he gets all the glitz and glam. But right now it's Max. Try to move Max unless Max Crosby wants to move himself.
Well, my
thoughts.
opinion on that is this. We finally have a Raiders team where, in my opinion, it's being put together from an organizational standpoint the right way, which means you have a general manager in place and then you have a head coach under the general manager. We haven't had that since Reggie McKenzie and Jack Del Rio. We haven't, because when Gruden came in, it upset the apple cart. All of a sudden, the head coach had all the power, and same thing happened when Pete Carroll came in. Everything's been upside down. So my opinion, and Jack Kent, I totally agree with you. Unless I hear from Max, everything is bullshit. Until I hear from Max from his mouth that he wants out of Vegas, or he really wants to be somewhere else and he's not here for the rebuild, everything is just a bunch of talking heads trying to get a rise out of Raider Nation, which they've done, and they're good at doing that. The people don't like the fact that the Raiders are getting ready that something good is getting ready to happen. The Raiders have been a doormat for so many years. I think people are used to that, and they're really not used to the fact that the good things could be happening here, and there could be a change in the wind, so to speak. I think a lot of people are trying to stir up the fact that Max is not happy, and again, I get it. Max wasn't happy being shut down, but he understood why. Max, the competitor, obviously wanted to be out on the field. He was obviously not happy because he wanted to be out there. That's just the kind of guy he is. But the thing is, when they interviewed him, he understood. That's the thing. He didn't like being sat down, but he understood. And when really came to it, he even admitted that he was glad that they were able to really pull him off and allow him to really get healed up and be ready to go for the next season. And I think if you pull in a good defensive coordinator, you pull in a good team around him. One of the things that hindered Patrick Graham, I believe, is he didn't really know what defense to put in there because he had Max, but he really didn't have a whole lot else. I mean, Malcolm Kuntz was a huge disappointment. I was really worried about paying him a bunch of money and really staking the claim and hitching the wagon to him, much like they did with Chandler Jones, thinking this could be a colossal failure. And it wasn't as big a failure as Chandler Jones, but it was pretty damn close. He didn't really do anything, in my opinion, that warranted the money that they spent. So again, Patrick Graham was in a situation where he lost one of his dependable linebackers. He got his whole linebacking core practically depleted. But he just didn't really have a lot of really talented players around Max. So he kept kind of fiddle farting around with what defensive scheme he was going to try to put in there. And I think that Max feels that if they really are starting to develop these young guys now, and he sees that, he sees how the young guys have been developing, and you bring a couple more guys in and really get this defense to gel. Now, you may or may not remember this, but back in 2019, I'm going all the way back and playing the 2019 card. I remember watching the game against the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings just trashed the Raiders that day. They went up there, but they put the starting lineup. They flashed the starting lineup of the Vikings on the screen, and they showed that every single one of the defensive starters for the Vikings had been with that team at least for 5 years. It's like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 5 years. It was amazing. So when you put together a quality defense and you're able to hold them together and you're able to elevate rookie contracts and keep guys on, which is something the Raiders have never been able to do. The reason why is they've never drafted quality guys who could actually stick. They've drafted guys who might have been a flash here, might have been a flash there, but never somebody that they could develop and get to that next level. To be honest with you, I'm glad that they didn't give Trayvon Merrick that additional contract. I'm glad that he's doing well in Carolina. I'm happy for him that he made the playoffs in his third year, but I don't think that he really warranted that payday. I don't.
Yeah.
And I
even said that Spillane. Yeah, I even said that Spillane. We talked, and I was talking with Mark Santos because Mark Santos was saying all of these guys that are on the Patriots defense that had done well for him. And I said, well, you forgot about Caleb Chason, who I wish we would have went after and kept him. By the way, he's a free agent at the end of the year. If we can give him some juice, I'd take Caleb Chason back in a heartbeat. And what's his nose can go fucking kick rocks, as they used to say in the Charlie Brown thing. Spillane played well. He played up to his contract with the Patriots. That's great. Maybe it was one of those things where, he just outdid himself there. But I wasn't up for giving him what he got in New England. I wanted to give him what we were offering. He didn't take it. That's great. Epps is playing well, but we have other things. And like I said, Merrick, fine. But we need to get better and younger and have better people there. Okay. And yeah, thank you. Ed Winchell says Spillane wasn't worth the money. That's what I thought. I mean, he's played well this year, but I don't think he was worth what we were going, or we gave him a good offer and he said, yeah, no, I don't want it. But Caleb Chason,
I think the offer that he had was a good offer. I think the offer he had was a good offer. But he went, I know you're squirrel over there, Jack.
Yeah, there was a nice set of tits on the TV, and yeah, woo. Sorry,
they'll do it to you every time.
Yeah, I know people say it does. Squirrel tits. Okay, there you go. But I was going to say I would do that. Now, Ed, I'm going to get to your comment in a minute because I always when people say something, I said, what is the source of that? So I'm going to put this on you, okay? And I will say this. I'm going to put it up, and only because you put it in the comments, Ed, I'm going to put it up and then put up next one. Ed Winchell says Max only cares about himself, and Vera told me that. For those who don't know who Vera is his mom. So if you're saying that you were speaking with Vera and Vera Crosby said that Max only cares about himself, those are hard charging words, Ed. So I'm gonna leave it up, and I'm not gonna say anything further. But don't say that unless it's true. I'm just gonna say.
Here's my take on that, Jack.
That's
anytime you have a story involving a big star, particularly around media week of the Super Bowl, and you hear these words, okay, according to multiple sources. Anytime you hear that, anytime you hear not according to Tom Pelissero or Adam Schefter or whoever, but when you hear according to multiple sources, everything else is bullshit, 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 clicks, likes, somebody trying to create a story for themselves. So anytime you see something that says according to multiple sources, everything else is a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that I won't go into anything that's classified, but for those who don't know, I was in the intelligence field for 38 plus years, and I've seen things where I would say, okay, what's the source of that information? And then there would be something else that would say something similar, and I would say, what's the source of that information? And then it would be XY. And the first source was X. And then somebody would say the source of the second one was XY. And then the source of this third bit of information, the source was YX. And then you find out when you do enough digging that X and XY and YX are the same fucking source. Okay? That's why I said what multiple sources, X, Y, Z, or this, and then were you the one who was saying thank you there, C? I'm bringing CJ in because he's awesome as fuck. Okay, I've been around. Hey, no, CJ, I'm very sorry to hear that. Very sorry to hear that, and blessings to you, sir, from our friend CJ, and welcome back to the show. And we will send some positivity your way. Did not realize that you have just lost your mom. So thank you for being you, and thank you for remembering your mother that brought you to the Raiders. And that was it.
Absolutely.
But getting back, and I'm sorry that's a downer, and I was making a point, and that's so. CJ, blessings to you. But the other thing is that when you were saying multiple sources, the multiple sources could be the same guy quoted from. Well, Jim said that he knew a guy, and John says that he knew a guy, and then I know a guy, and they're all the same fucking guy. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
All right. So let me give you words from Max himself. Let me give you words from Max himself. All right.
What is the date of these words? Because that's important too. What is the date of these words?
Right. This is during the last season, just last year, toward the end of last year. Okay. Max said, and this is a quote, "Of course, I would love to be here, but I want to win. I want to win, period. I'm a winner. That's in my blood. So every day I wake up, I'm trying to win. And for me, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You know what I mean? If I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be here. If they don't think that, I'm not going to sit here and try to sell myself short." So that's what he said. So people can read into that whatever they want. When I hear that, I hear a competitor. I hear somebody who wants to win, somebody who's not just sitting on the couch eating Twinkies and collecting a paycheck, somebody who really, really wants to win. But again, I didn't read anything into those comments saying, "Oh, I hate the Raiders. I think this is a trash organization." Well, I didn't hear anything saying, "Oh, well, they're in a rebuild. I don't want to be part of a rebuild." That's other people developing narratives for themselves. They're putting words in Max's mouth. So until I hear it from Max directly, or until I hear a source who says, "I talked to Max directly, and here's a quote from him. Here's what he told me." Everything else, when I hear multiple sources, people are just trying to get clicks and likes. They're just trying to develop a story and trying to say, "Oh, I'm going to scoop everybody else, and I'm going to be the first one to break everything." Just like when I came out 2 weeks ago and said, "Oh, I'm a genius. I'm going to tell you where all these 10 head coaches are going to land in the different spots." And I've been wrong on all of them. And I'll step up and say I was wrong on all of them.
You're still a genius, though.
I still have a chance at one. I still have a chance at one. But again, and I said, these are my projections. This is what I think. But the whole time it was just my opinion. This is where I think they're going to be, not, "Oh, well, this is definitely going to happen."
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to say about sourcing, because somebody, I can't remember, was it you, Tom, that told me something on a text, or maybe it was Jimmy Farrell, because you guys text me a lot. So does Ed Winchell. And they said, said this information. And I said a quote that will repeat often as well. First reports are often wrong. And apparently whatever this information was wrong. First reports are often wrong. I'm just going to say that to you as well. So take all of these things with a grain of salt. Also, you're saying that Max said this towards the end of the season when he was disgruntled. He was a little bit disgruntled, but also you could tell that the fire that burns brightest within him is winning, just like Al Davis would say. But I'd be pissed too. But the point is, what I want to know is when Jay Glazer says, "I heard X, Y, and Z," when did you hear that, Jay? Because that is very important. Well, I heard. Well, when the fuck did you hear it, Jay Glazer? Because he could be talking about something that happened 2 months ago or 3 months ago, and then say, "Well, yeah, Max is short for the Raiders." I want to know information that is current and what he wants to do.
Here's the context too. Suppose Jay Glazer's on the sidelines and he ambles up and he stumbles onto Max and they're talking and they see how successful Mike Vrabel's been, and he knows that Max has an affinity and is fond for Mike Vrabel, and he starts talking Mike Vrabel up and says, "Mike Vrabel's a good guy," and Max might say, "Yeah, that's the kind of guy I'd love to play for." That's just a flippant comment. And all of a sudden, it's, oh, Max has said he doesn't want to be for the Raiders anymore. He wants to play in New England. That's an example of somebody taking something and stretching it and bending the context through a general comment and saying, "Oh, I'm going to stir some controversy on this. I'm going to make some shit out of this." And that's what they do. That's what they do. I hate saying that, but a lot of these sportscasters are looking at anything that they can do to bend an angle. That's why I don't respect Jim Rome, and I will say that point blank. There are people in the business. There are people in the business that I look at them and I say, okay, well, they're successful, and I'll give them their due, but I don't respect what they do, and I don't respect how they do it. And again, I know that Jim has his following, but not by me.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I'm going to drop it. You guys know, and I won't say his name, but there is a YouTuber for the Raiders that gets a lot of clicks. Won't say who he is, or I won't say who he is.
I'm nodding my head, Jack.
Yeah, I got you. I don't click on anything. Actually, there's like 2 or 3 of them. There's 2 or 3 of them, now that I think about it, that are Raider YouTubers. And I don't click on any of their shit. None of it. A, because I'm not going to give them a click. And B, most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, their shit is so I didn't say any names, sir. I won't dime you out in the comments section. We'll dime you out in the comments section because there's a couple of them. There's another. Mike Sarah said another one. Yeah, and I know that person. I know him personally, by the way, Mike Sarah. I know him personally. I used to do shows with him. But there are people that I tell you what, though, I will give him more credence than I will give to the other person. Because I know him, and I know that he tries to at least have his shit right. It's not often right, or his. But that other person, that I will say, oh man, no, I won't.
Any person, and I'm not going to name the name either. Any person who comes out and says, I am the source. I bring Raiders content to you every day. You follow me because I have all the latest information, and you don't need to go anywhere else. All you need to do is listen to me and trust me. Anytime somebody puts themselves on that type of pedestal, but they're not within the organization itself, I just look at them and just shake them off. I still hear what they have to say, but it's with a grain of salt. Yeah. I like to hear what the take is, but I don't believe it for 1 minute.
And I said they, James, because I said that there's a few of them. A few equals they. They are the few. And by the way, Mike Sarah's person, I wasn't even thinking of him. I was not even thinking of him. Like I said, I know that gentleman personally. And I used to do shows with him. He's difficult, but and he's got some good shit, but he's difficult.
There's one guy who jumps on about every day, though.
Yeah, I know who that is. And I think that's the guy that you were nodding to. Yeah. So that's why I said. And I won't say that you're right, but yeah. I know Fester is thinking the same guy that I am. And they could be a couple, but no. One of them, I'll just say, one of them is a very, very big fan of Derek Carr. That's all I'm going to say. That's the other one. Mm-hmm. That's the other one. I think the shrine to Derek Carr is in his voodoo room. Probably has a lock of Derek Carr's hair, and he puts it on a Derek Carr doll that's taped where, the shrine of Derek Carr. And that's all I'm going to say. But whatever he fucking says, I don't click on it.
Yep.
But anyway, getting back to
what he has to say. I see what he has to say just out of curiosity standpoint, but never a source. Just, I heard this, I heard that, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard some things from people that have told me things and they were right. Yeah. and I won't divulge sources, but there's one person that's in this broadcast that told me things that were correct. There's another person that's not in this broadcast that have told me things that were correct. And there's another person that used to watch my show that has told me things, and they were right too. Notice how I said that. One person in the broadcast, one person who's not in the broadcast that is a YouTuber that's a good friend of mine, and one person that doesn't watch the show anymore. They have told me things that are correct, and they got sources, and they've been right.
I know an NFL reporter that kind of uncovered one thing one time, and he said sometimes they'll say somebody within the building. Well, somebody within the building could be the janitor. It could be the young lady that gets coffee for the offensive coordinator. It could be the person that cleans the building at night. That's somebody in the building. That doesn't mean shit.
No, do not call me that, Kenna. Do not call me that, Kenna. And by the way, he is really calling you. He is really denigrating you. He is really denigrating you. Take that back, Kenna. Fine. Take that comment down. That's fucked up. And that's fine. The broken clock, right, twice a day. Here it is. What I'm saying is that I want to hear what Max has to say current. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm going out to the CTE dinner in 2 or 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. If I would think that even if, and I'm going to be very careful with what I say here, but even if Max Crosby, who is going to get his CTE award at the end of February, actually technically the end of February, the first portion of March, right? I don't think that he will make he will say, oh my God, yes, and he does. He loves the Raiders. Look at my fucking tats. I'm tatted up. I'm a Raider for life, yada, yada, yada. I get it. And he believes that. Derek Carr also said he was a Raider for life. And we saw how that goes. Here's the thing, though. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking about, okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I took it wrong. But anyway, those are the guys that, yes, you are correct, Ken. I won't say it, but those are the two guys I was talking about. Anyway, until such a time that he's not going to say it at that dinner, because all these people are here to give Max his flowers for winning the CTE award. I think this is either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th time in a row. Thank you, Kenna. So he's not going to say anything there. So you won't hear shit until March 1st at the earliest.
Let's see what Max and everybody else within the Raiders says after the head coach is hired. Right now you got a ship that's kind of sailing around the ocean with no captain and no rudder. So it's going to get a captain and a rudder. You're the captain, but it has no rudder. I'm the
fucking captain. Come on, man. Jesus, give me some time.
Very soon, they're going to get both. And once they get both, and we get the direction headed in where it's going to be going, and we start talking about free agents and what the priorities are going to be, we'll start filling those things in. But right now, it's low-hanging fruit for people to say that the Raiders are a horrible organization, because they have been for the last 20 years. Doesn't mean that we don't love them any less. It just means that they have not been a good organization. At first it was Al Davis trying to get out of his own way, desperately wanting to do what he could to help the team, but the game had passed him by at that point, and he was just pulling socks out of the drawer. Sometimes they would match, sometimes they wouldn't. Most often they wouldn't, or the socks he pulled out were so damn old they had holes in them, and they weren't good anymore. And then Mark took over. Mark had the right idea. He had a general manager. They took a chance on a young coach. It failed. Sometimes that happens. And he whiffed on that. So he brought in an experienced coach who lasted for a couple of years. But then he got all starry-eyed and said, oh, I'm going to bring Gruden back, and he's going to be the savior, and things are going to be like they were back in 2001 and 2002. And he was chasing ghosts. And he brought Gruden in, he gave him all the power, and things started to just fall apart. And ever since then, we've been scrambling. So whereas we could have been in a position where he could have built things, starting with the 2014 draft, and we got the Raiders into the playoffs in 2016, it could have continued to build momentum. We probably could have gotten the Raiders to the playoffs at least 2 or 3 more times if things had continued to develop. But he just gave all the power to Gruden, and it hamstrung the organization, and it destroyed the organization. And I don't care what anybody says. I will argue this with my last breath. Bringing John Gruden back was the worst decision that Mark Davis could have possibly made for the long-term success of this organization. I love John Gruden. I love his passion. I love everything about him with the Raiders, but he was the wrong choice.
I agree. And I've said the same thing to, again, name dropping, Leicester 2 weeks ago when it was when we were there. And Leicester loves some Gruden. And I love John Gruden 1.0. And even John Gruden 1.0 still did not keep his fucking foot on the gas, which is why we had all of those games that we could have won that we didn't. Okay? And I like John Gruden. I like his enthusiasm. He had like the enthusiasm like fucking AP was the biggest cheerleader that the Raiders have had, for the team. AP was fantastic for that, okay? Cheerleader, but not a great head coach. And yeah, I'll go Jim Otto Raider for life. That's one of those things. And thank you there for reminding me about that, Matt Marinovich. But here's the thing.
I'll even go Charles. I think that
maybe once, yeah, technically no, but realistically yes, because I'm talking real for true. Who was a Raider their entire career? There's not a lot. Especially nowadays when you just turn over jerseys like it's fucking laundry day, right? But Jim Otto was definitively a Raider for life. Dave Dalby
and Egan,
and I was talking again old school. Mark Van Egan,
Biletnikoff.
I think know that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was saying, Matt. Was Woodson spent some time in Green Bay, but I'm talking in his heart for true. But you talk about people that were there on the roster all the time. Henry Lawrence, who has 3 Super Bowl rings, Raider for life. Okay, the list is few and far between. Yes, Shell and Upshaw too. But Mike Sarah, getting to what you were saying, yes, I noticed that Ashton Genty was not nominated for Rookie of the Year. I did notice that Max was not nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. But honestly, why would they be? Why would Max Crosby be nominated for Defensive Player of the Year this year? Why would Ashton Genty be nominated for Offensive Rookie of the Year this year? They didn't play well enough.
If Josh Jacobs did not get Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2019, and they gave it to Kyler Murray, a damn sucky quarterback for a 5-8-1 football team, that guys like Ashton Genty aren't even going to get a sniff. Because Josh Jacobs won that Offensive Rookie of the Year hands down. He had the performance, and the Raiders only missed out on the playoffs by a game, and they gave it to, we got to give it to the number 1 overall pick, the quarterback. We have to make the quarterback the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sham.
Yeah.
And disgraceful.
And Jimmy Farrell, that's the reason why I owe Space Beast a fucking beer. Because I didn't think Ted McMillan was going to be drafted as high as he was. I was wrong. And that's why I owe him a beer. That's the reason why I lost that bet. I said, he ain't going to be drafted that high. but he
It's
was
also a product of where
he
went. He was in a good situation too.
Yeah, but see, that's the other thing. Product of where you are. Ashton Jeanty was behind I can't even call them mediocre. Since the season is over, I'm going to use the S word. Our offensive line sucked. I can say it now, right? Our offensive line
we
sucked.
have an offensive line. Jack, we did not have an offensive line.
Yeah, we had 5 guys.
All of the yards that Ashton Jeanty gained, he did on his freaking own.
Was on his own. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And there was
well, Jack, I need to actually skirt out of here.
Okay.
Actually almost an hour and a half, but I'm looking forward to talking with you, because the next time that we get together, knock on wood, I think the Raiders will probably have a head coach by then.
Well, I think they're gonna. Well, here's the thing: if they don't name Clint Kubiak on Monday, then something is way fucked up. And if they don't name him on Monday, then look for, and I think they said his name is Evero Ejero. Look for him. Look for him to be named immediately thereafter.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, Jack, take care. Have a great weekend. I don't mind saying this, but go Seahawks.
Oh yeah, go Seahawks. Yeah, I didn't say it. I didn't say it when Mark was on last night. Great guy that he is. He's a Pats guy. I'm not going to say. I did say where my bet lied, and it was with the Pats. But and I told him, I said, people don't like the Pats because they don't want to see you get number 7. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Well, Jack, take care. Listeners and viewers, have a great week. Thoughts and prayers with those who have already been mentioned previously. Thoughts and prayers. And
CJ and Vicky for sure. CJ and Vicky for sure. Thank you.
Have a good, safe time. People that are on the East, please stay warm and safe. Check on your neighbors. And we will look forward to getting again with you again next week. So you all take care, and I will sign off the way I always do.
Show that bulb, baby! Woohoo! Look at the roundness of that bulb. I can say that too. Thank you there, Tom. Fester is here. Good to see you. Raider Fester is here. Jeanty rest. Our total led all rookies. Total 10. I get it, Mike, for sure. But the thing is. Total 1,300, led touchdown, second amongst overtime. I understand. And actually, he made a case for himself near the end of the year. And he is worthy of it. He is worthy of it. Don't get me wrong. He is worthy of it. I placed a Hard Rock bet at the beginning of the year. Ashton Jeanty, Rookie of the Year. Didn't come through. Ashton Jeanty is worthy of it. Look for him to improve vastly next year. But did you think that they were going to even have him in the discussion when the Raiders have the number 1 pick in the draft because the team sucked? I know it's an individual award. But I understand why, because they're going to they're going to gloss over the Raiders. So it's one of those things where the stench of the team permeates throughout the NFL. And here's some other things we can talk about. Jimmy Farrell brought it to my attention last week that the NFL is mandating that all of the fields are going to be at such a level where they are competitive or as close together as possible. That is turf, that is synthetic turf, there is grass. All of the fields and I think it's by 2028, I could be wrong. Jimmy Farrell showed me the story. that all of the fields have got to be at least within spitting distance of each other. I like that. Because it used to be that nobody wanted to play in Philadelphia on the fucking AstroTurf that was Veterans Stadium. Nobody. And nobody should have been playing on the field. What was it a couple Super Bowls ago when the painting on the middle of the field was such that it was a hazard. It was a slip hazard. That shit shouldn't ever take place. Ever. I think it took place when the Raiders were, or maybe it was the year before, year after the Raiders played in the Hall of Fame game, that the field, that the painting was such that they couldn't play on it because it was a hazard. Yeah, that should never be. But yes, I'm waiting for the Kubiak. And the most important thing to me, yeah, I want Kubiak, but I want to find out who the offensive line coach is. And Tom was talking about him, guy who's got like 30 years of NFL experience. I want to know who his defensive coordinator is going to be. That's number 2. Actually, it's 1A and 1B. I'll admit that. Get Kubiak. Who is his fucking offensive line coach? Who is his defensive coordinator? And who is his offensive coordinator in name? Those are important things. And if you go by what Navman was saying, Jay Harbaugh would be a great special teams guy. This is important, Jimmy Farrell, and yeah, that would be great. If you give me Jim Schwartz, I'd be fucking ecstatic. Because Jim Schwartz's defense are similar to, or not, maybe not of the same ilk, but they are similar to D'Amico Ryans' defense, where they have the swarm defense in Houston. These guys are around the ball, right? Jim Schwartz has a defense. Now, granted, he has some players, right? He has the linebacker that was up for Rookie of the Year, I believe, or at least he just was so amazing at linebacker that he was there. And then, of course, he had, obviously, the sack man, the ex-Philly OC. I don't want no. And Matt, I hope that this is correct. I hope that this is correct. Rob 'em blind. Rob 'em blind. Because obviously we see that the staff is great. Obviously they got a lot of great players though, but the staff and the coaching makes up what is good. If you can bring me the staff, maybe not all of them, but there are guys on the Seattle Seahawks staff that are the first lieutenants or the XO, the executive officers. Mike McDonald is the defensive guy, but whoever's the defense playing, I'd grab him. The guy that's next to the guy that has the ability. Kubiak has the ability because he comes from a football family, right? Great. Mad movie, is it on tomorrow? I don't know. Thought it was in February or March. And that's it's Netflix, right? I got to get Netflix just to watch the Madden movie. I got to get Netflix just to watch the Madden movie. I'm watching the Flyers with 6 men on the ice with an empty net. Yes! Yes! An extra attacker with a goal. I don't know who it was, but the Flyers have tied it up with 1 minute and 14 seconds left. I don't know who scored the goal. There you go. And Vladar, I think it's Vladar, was the goalie. Played a hell of a game. Who is that? Is that Kate? Who is that? Who's number 9? I thought that's Drysdale. I think it's Drysdale. Yes! Drysdale, the defenseman. Yes. Matt, we were talking about that. That's what Fester was talking about. John Benton, who is the offensive line coach, make him be the OC. And that way it's not a lateral, it's an upgrade, right? And then have his assistant offensive line coach come over and be our offensive line coach. And then it's an upgrade. It's not a lateral, it's a what do you call it? When you get a what do you call it? Promotion. And I kind of, I don't know if I said that in a couple shows ago, but that's what I was looking for. That guy to come in, and that's the OC and who's the offensive line coach. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. EMAC, very easily. I have the Seahawks winning. In fact, I have 4 bets on it. I have a throwaway. What do you call it? Parlay. Then I have a parlay and then 3 singles, I think. I can't remember. But I have the Seahawks winning. And if the Seahawks win and it's close and it's over, I mean, if the Patriots keep it close, if the Seahawks win and the Patriots keep it close and it's over 46, I make a lot of money. Well, of course you're not, because you're a fucking Seahawks fan. I mean, honestly, come on, man. I got you. Hey, look at those guns, brother. Look at those guns. You stud. I've been waiting a while. So, was that Jay Thuney Proctor? Jimmy, I don't know. Oh, what is that? Proctor of the Year. Jimmy Farrell, your spell check got you, brother. I have no fucking clue. I don't have no fucking clue. Jim Schwartz, I'd take in a minute, but you know, if they're gonna, if I think that maybe somebody that's on the staff that is like one of the defensive coaches under McDonald, because McDonald is a defensive guy, he's going to grab him and say, "Hey, I got a job for you. You're going to be my DC." McCaffrey got comeback player of the year. His low-scoring, boring game. 24, 34, 44, 40. Yeah, see, that's if it's over 46. It's over 46 and it's close and the Seahawks win, I win a lot of money. McCaffrey got comeback player of the year. I can believe that. Powers that be. Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking, Matt, maybe it's one of those things. Protector of the year? I don't know who Jim Thuney is. I don't know who that is. I want Hutchison. Well, he's not. I just said that McCaffrey won comeback player of the year, according to somebody here. I'm just glad that the fucking Flyers at least got a point tonight. And if they can win, that would be better. Defense Rookie of the Year, Abdul Carter. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Jim Thuney. Tackle or guard? Name sounds familiar. I don't know now. Don't fucking give it up when you fought so hard to tie it. Come on. Okay, 2-on-1. Nice save. Or it was wide. Now it's 2-on-1 the other way. Up. and the Senators win. Fuck. It was a 2-on-1, and Vladar's kind of like talking to the ref, like, "Yeah, what the fuck?" I can't. Let me see what again. I'm trying to multitask here. I don't know who fucking won, but yeah, the Senators won in overtime. Fuck, at least the Flyers got a point, but they need that. What is this? I want to see the goal again. Come on. Jesus Christ. Oh, here he is. The guy who scored the goal, Tim Stutzel. I don't know why he may be on this. Yeah. I don't know what Vladar was asking about. Looks to me just a very good play. K9 is going to have a big game. I think New England is going to be more focused on the run. Yeah, and I get you, Matt. Right? The defense wins games for you. I don't know what Vladar. EMAC, as long as you got your sexy guns ready for the ladies, that's good. I am going to open up and EMAC, get ready. Man, I wish Matt Marinovich would come in even via voice. I wish he would come in via voice. But I'm gonna put the link up. You want to come in? If you want to come in, you got to come in pretty much quickly. I know EMAC's going to come in, so if that's without saying. So EMAC, I'm going to give you a couple minutes, but I want to hear from other people. There's the link. I know EMAC's going to come in. It's going to talk about no stupid bullshit. No stupid bullshit. I want concise, good commentary. And I'd love to have Matt Marinovich. Even if you don't come on via video and just for the sound. Let me find something to watch though. It's like a preview. I know I was watching a movie previously. What was I watching? Previous. No, that's not watching. I'm watching a movie. Hang on. I gotta have something to have my mind go. Do that. All right. Yeah, voice. Ed Winchell, you can come in too. Okay, EMAC, you're on. You're quick. You're on. You're quick.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right.
How you doing?
How you doing, brother? What's going on?
Good. How are you?
Okay, so how large are the Seahawks going to win on Sunday?
I think it's going to be 48-23, same score as last year's Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yep. Like, Christian Gonzalez is not a very good corner. Their secondary, I don't think, is even that impressive to me. Their defense is only good stopping the run. That's really it with their front seven. And then they're going to be more focused on the run. Yes. But I really think JSN, even if he doesn't have big yards, I still think he'll get a touchdown. And we still got Cooper Kupp outside of him, which we can get him involved too as well. Like, as long as Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over, which he has.
There you go. As long as Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over. You said it for me.
Yep. And then we're pretty much the best offense that the Patriots faced this postseason. So, and all the offenses Patriots were facing is pancakes.
Okay, well, what about the fact that the Seahawks, everybody that they played in the playoffs is from their own division, so it was game 3 of people that they know very well.
Yeah. The Rams and Niners.
Right. So I mean, don't they have a competitive advantage in that respect when you're playing at home against teams that are in your division that you know well?
We play the Niners and Rams very well.
Yeah, and that's the point. If it was somebody else, where you had to go outside of your division, could have been a lot different.
Like the Rams did play pretty well against us comparing to San Fran the last couple of times we played San Fran, but San Fran has been banged up. They have gotten predictable ever since with their injuries. So
yeah,
and their defense has been hurt all season.
Yeah,
like everything for San Fran.
Yeah,
but the Rams, however, they just know how to play us very well offensively, and they have beat us once in the regular season in LA. Like I said to people, we can lose to them in LA, but we can beat them in Seattle.
Okay.
But they know. I think they've been the team that's been playing us well as of late.
Okay. So I'm going to say it. You said no problem. Seahawks by what was that? By 21?
Over 45.5 score total.
Okay. I might have to make another bet then. So
I mean, my bet doesn't. I know it doesn't walk very big, but at the same time, I was trying to make at least a few parlays. But there's some bets I couldn't barely find.
Yeah.
On the kiosk.
Okay. Well, don't you got like one of those bet machines where you can actually do it on an app?
Yeah, I actually can't do it in Washington, unfortunately. Like if you're talking about online gambling.
Yeah, because I have like the Hard Rock app.
Like it's illegal here, but it's probably legal for you guys since Florida is legal to do it down there.
Yeah, and I have the app here. All right, so I'm going to ask you, who is going to be the guy that is just the standout guy for Seattle that nobody's talking about? That is the reason why they're going to win, and you don't see it coming.
It's as long as Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over, like we said, and we play good defense. And JSN is going to be our big priority come to this game.
So, yeah, but you're telling me people that I already know about. I know about JSN. I know about Cooper Kupp. I know about your back is what? Walker, I believe is his name.
Kenneth Walker, which we call him K9.
Right. But there's nobody that's going to be the guy that nobody hears about. Remember when the Patriots won a couple years ago against the Seahawks, it was because their cornerback that nobody knew about took the game for him.
I don't think it's going to be like that, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, so there's nobody that's going to stand out for you.
I don't think it's going to be like a game-ending interception like that will ever happen again. But I think if we're going to talk about nobody heard of, I guess you can say that A.J. Barner, the tight end.
Okay. Maybe well, yeah, see, that's a guy. See, that's what I was looking for. Somebody that you're not expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like as a red zone tight end, I don't know for everything else.
Yeah. Okay.
But that is a good question.
Well, I will give you your due, and I might make another bet where it's over the 46, and you guys win. I might do
How
that.
much money do you get to walk away with, though?
Well, here I tell you what. Here's the bets I made because on my app, I will show you. And again, I'm not a degenerate gambler, but I've gotten to a point where I'm actually.
You can just say the numbers. Like it's not like you.
Let me get to the app. Let me get to the app, man. Wait a second. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm at zero, so I have all my money out. Okay. So I have $50 for over 46 gets me almost 96. So that's like a plus 45 if that one is over.
So you get $96 out of that.
Yeah. And so this is the rough 3-bet parlay where it's Seahawks winning, it's over 46, but the Patriots keep it close. And that was, I threw some extra money on there. It was like, that was a $50 throw it on there. Patriots to keep it close, I threw 50 to make almost 100. Seahawks to win, 50 to get 72. And then this was the throwaway 3-bet parlay, okay? Was Seahawks to win over 46 and the Patriots keeping it close. That would get me $27, would get me 350.
350 sounds pretty big for a lower bet.
Yeah, 27. Yeah, well, there was a boost added. It was like a $73 boost. So that's why I took it. I'm like, sure, I'll throw away, $27 for.
Is Hard Rock the only casino you guys have in that state?
No, I mean, but I could use the other one.
As an actual casino, I guess.
Yeah, no, there is an actual. Hard Rock is the casino, but I go everything online. You're playing it too close, Jay? Well, I only had $200 in my system. That's why all my money's out. It was 50, 50, 50, 50, and then the throwaway bet was 28. So there we go. This is what I said on the show. I said on the show.
The Patriots lost.
I said, Coach of the Year. I said Mike Vrabel, definitely Coach of the Year.
I think Kyle Shanahan deserves that more, unfortunately.
No.
When you think about it, Shanahan took the injured Niners team that we didn't expect to go this far in the playoffs.
Yeah. Ed,
Remember, Kevin O'Connell took a Sam Darnold Vikings team to the playoffs.
Yeah, but both of those teams were high quality, caliber, winning teams. The Patriots had 4 wins last year, and he took them to the Super Bowl. To me, that's obvious. Mike Vrabel is Coach of the Year. And Ed, that's not true. You can only use Hard Rock in states that it's legal. Because when I'm in Vegas and I have the Hard Rock app, I can't bet because I'm in Vegas. That's the way it is.
And your MVP is Matthew Stafford.
Is that official now, or is that what you're saying?
I want it to be.
Well, I think it will happen. All right, EMAC.
All right.
We'll see you on the next time out. So you take care. And
see you later, brother. And let's go Raiders.
All right. Good to see you, EMAC. Take care, bro. All right. Good kid. There and I tell you what, I won't mention names. I was told, and Ed, call me on this. I was told by I'll call her a young lady. She's not a young lady. I was told by a young lady that somebody that has been someone on the show, not recently, is an abusive, narcissistic fucktwat, thieving narcissistic fucktwat. And I'm like, wow. And she goes, your friend? I'm like, no, he's not my friend. No, he's not my friend. And it's not who many of you think it is. It's not who many of you think it is. Because this is somebody from from a person that came on the show like years ago. And Ed, so call me on this. I think you know who I'm talking about. I will not have anything to do with this person again. And I can see it based upon what she said. Not that I'm spilling the beans, because I didn't say any names. But I will not do anything with this person ever again. So having said that, flag football players of the year, yeah, I agree. Who the fuck cares? If you want to come on the show, I'm going to put up the link one more time. I'm putting the link up one more time. If you're coming on the show, you got a couple minutes to do it. Because otherwise, I gotta do some more cleaning of the room for the game. Until such time, I'm going to watch Landman once I figure out what fucking channel it's on. I know it's a series. I saw some of the episodes from year 1 or year 2? And I'm like, man, that's cool. I think it was season 1. And I saw like the last 2 episodes of season 1. And I'm like, I got to see this. The Billy Bob Thornton. I'm like, great shit. Yeah, comeback player of the year, McCaffrey. I like that because I don't think he wasn't injured this year. Have I ever watched a TV show called Suits? No. I didn't watch it the first time. I haven't watched it the second iteration where Suits LA. No. I know what it's about. I know who's in it. I know it's the bitch that married the king or the brother of the king in England. Fuck that cunt. I would fuck her, but that's beside the point. But that's all I would do with her. Trying to get some bad English press out of that. But no, she's a bimbo. Won't watch it. I know the gist is interesting, like 2 guys that kind of look alike, but no desire. I want to watch when it comes out. I want to watch the hospital show with the guys that are on for the TV. Was it the phone network? The phone network? Was it the black guy and the white guy? I can't remember. I can't wait to they reprise the show, and I can't wait to watch that. Scrubs. There you go. Don't watch Scrubs. Don't watch Landman. I saw the final episode for season 2 of Fallout last night. It's been something that I've been following. I'm like, that's a great fucking show. Great fucking show. And I can't wait until I see season 2 of the show where the United States and the inhabitants of the United States were. Isn't it cool that a lot of the shows that I like is about nuclear war and people, who live in Fallout was great. And then the other one was the guy where he was the president's guy that, what do we call, like his bodyguard. And then the United States has gone into the mountains, inside the mountain in Colorado. What the fuck is the name of that show? And it was great too. It was awesome. I can't wait to see season 2 on that. I'm waiting on somebody to call. So if you don't call, but I'm going to go find Landman. I'm going to go see that show. What, Scrubs? Can't wait to see that. And that show with again, I can't wait until season 3 of Fallout to go. I think that I don't know whether it's starting in May or they're going to start shooting it in May, but I will wait for Fallout season 3. And what is the name of that show? Oh, I gotta look. I gotta fucking Google. Okay, let me see here. USA Underground show, Shelter, Colorado. Okay, what is the name of that show? No. I don't want to know about NORAD. No. Okay, I just say TV show. TV show. Fucking, I know about NORAD. They get up on NORAD. Paradise. Thank you. Paradise. Sterling K. and James Marsden as the president. That I can't wait until it comes back. Ooh, my watch battery saying, fuck you, you need to charge me up. So that's what it was. Paradise. Anyway, if you're watching, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for all the positives here. I'm going to sign off. I will have a show after the Super Bowl. It's not going to be on at 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be on whenever the fucking game is ended. And everybody that is over here for the show or for the meal has left. Unless they want to be part of the show, then we can do that. That's possible. I remember when Hollywood was here, he was visiting the house a couple Super Bowls ago. It was the Super Bowl where the Chiefs were playing the Eagles and the Chiefs won, and the Eagles got juiced. Whatever fucking Super Bowl that was, that's the Super Bowl that Hollywood was here. And he was on my show afterwards. So that'll be that. I will do the Super Bowl show afterwards. So again, we'll see you Sunday after the game. Not sure when, but y'all take care. We'll see you then. Yeah, Raider Nation getting fucking awesomely pumped for Clint Kubiak to come in. I can't wait to see it. We'll see.